it's time for another Why I Love, and it seems like ages since I've done one of these, so I've been looking forward to doing this one, and this time it's SimCity on the Super Nintendo. Now I'll start with its release date in 1992, and it was actually the first console port of this game, and for what it managed to achieve from a PC game going onto a console, just, you know, completely just blew my mind as a kid. Like that, they just completely and utterly nailed it. Now basically what it is, it's a city building simulator, and you're the mayor, and you're going to be tasked with building a city, and not just building the city but maintaining it. And starting off building it, really you get like three kind of like building types. So you'll have industrial zones, you'll have commercial zones, and you'll have residential zones. Obviously, you know, your citizens will live in the residential zones, they'll shop in the commercial zones, and they'll work in the industrial zones. Now that seems simple enough, but obviously all these, you know, different types of zones have to be connected through you know, like power cables, and then of course, you know, by roads, so they can all get where they need to be. And then as your population grows, you need to build, you know, more industrial zones, more residential zones, more commercial zones. So eventually, you know, it just gets completely massive, your city, and it just grows, you know, just to massive proportions. Now what I'll say about the game is, you know, it's got this real like kind of creative feel about it, and that's what really appealed to me as a kid, and that's why I loved it, and that's why I kept going back and back to it, because, you know, my imagination was like the only limit. I could build, you know, I used to try and build my own town that I was living in at the time, and I didn't have much success with that, but, you know, it was there and I could do it. And I know my son now plays Minecraft, and I'm not a big fan of it, but I do respect, you know, the kind of creative element to it. And when I talk to my son, like when he talks to me about Minecraft, I always say that, you know, SimCity was like my kind of Minecraft as a kid, because I could just go on there and just kind of create to my heart's content, you know, any kind of city that I wanted. Now there's lots of, you know, there's lots of other buildings. I mentioned, you know, how you had your three main buildings, your industrial zone, your commercial zone, and your residential zone. But, you know, also, you know, you're going to have to adapt to certain things that will happen in your city. Obviously, as the population grows, crime's going to increase, so you need police stations. Obviously, you know, there's a risk of fire, so you need, you know, fire stations and stuff. But also you can build like libraries and amusement parks and zoos and casinos and just all kinds of crazy stuff that you'd expect to see in a city. And yeah, I mean, these are like buildings that are like awarded to you as your city grows. So maybe your city's been around, you know, for so many years, or the population grows to a certain amount, and then you'll be able, you know, to access these buildings, like build a zoo or build an amusement park and stuff like that. And yeah, just the creative element, it just as a kid just absolutely blew my mind. Another brilliant thing about it is Dr. Wright. He pops up all the time, usually at the end of the year, to sort out the taxes. Yeah, I'm talking about taxes, and like I'm telling you, I love the game. I don't know how that works, but yeah, he pops up all the time with loads of helpful little bits of advice and stuff. And he's actually based on the creator of the game, Will Wright, I believe, who created the whole like SimCity like game genre. And it's massive now, you know. It grew to massive proportions in the 1990s. But yeah, it's nice to see that the creator, you know, put his own personal touch in the console version, because I mean, it's just an absolute amazing port. But the console versions as well got something that the PC versions didn't. What you can do in all the other versions of the game is create like a natural disaster, so you might have an earthquake or a typhoon. But in the Super Nintendo version, what you actually get is you can launch like a Bowser attack on your city. And you might say, like, why would I want to unleash Bowser on a city that I've spent hours and hours like creating? But most sessions on SimCity for me ending is like unleashing Bowser upon my city, and he just lays waste to it, really. I mean, it's pretty much like a kind of Godzilla attack on Tokyo or something, you know. Everything's on fire and he's just barging down, knocking everything over, and it's just absolutely hilarious, and probably one of like my favourite things about the game. Like, I could spend hours and hours and hours making this city, but at the end of it, I'm still going to demolish it with Bowser. And yeah, it's just a really, really fun game, and it's SimCity and it's on Super Nintendo, so if you haven't tried it, you pick it up pretty damn cheap, and it's well worth a go. You can invest loads of time in it. And also another thing as well, it's got like the save chip that the Super Nintendo carts had as well, so, you know, you don't just have to worry about turning the cart off and you know, losing all the buildings that you've been doing and stuff. And another thing as well, like the maps as well, there's so many, I think there's like 999 different combinations of like maps that you can like start off building on. So there's so many like reasons to go back and play the game. And yeah, it's just an absolute fantastic game and I love it. It's SimCity on Super Nintendo. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll leave us like I always do and say thanks for watching, guys. I'm the Mongoose, and if you've liked what you've seen, maybe you can hit the like button or leave us a comment, because I love a bit of feedback. And if you enjoyed it in particular, maybe hit the subscribe button. And yeah, follow us on Twitter at Mongoose on a uni. Thanks for watching, people. Hopefully I'll catch you next time. Bye.